Mr. Patrick White. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Big D?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great.
Yeah. Well, you got some things going on. We've known each other a couple years. Met you through the grapevine, hanging out over in Webster Parish in Minden, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, doing some stuff over there. Yeah, on the grind. And but I don't know much about you other than that, man. I know you got your cause you supporting and what y'all are doing over there, but also, man, I just like to sit down and get to know you, man. So let's take it back. Where'd you come from, man? How'd you get here?
Oh, man, I'm originally from Minden.
Okay.
Born and raised in Minden most of my life, and then moved away a couple states. I didn't finish school here in Minden. Finished school in Oklahoma City.
How'd you get up there, man?
Man, I got family. I was a wild child, and you know what I mean.
In what aspect?
Yeah, man. Just out there.
Just man. Free spirit.
Yeah, free spirit.
I got you.
You know what I mean. Went through a lot of depression, a lot of different things, and didn't know who I was, and didn't really know who I was. I had to go find myself.
Yeah. Okay. And you come back down this way when?
Man,
how old were you?
I guess I was about 25, close to 20, close to 30. I wasn't 30 yet.
Okay.
Because I went through so much when I left. Even went through homelessness.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, tell me about. Let's talk about that, man.
Oh,
people want to hear this real stuff. Tell me about it. What happened? How'd that happen?
Oh, man, it just happened, man. Being hard-headed, being a hard-headed child, a young man. Thought I was a man still. 15, 16 years old. Thought I knew it. Thought I had all the answers, and man, wasn't listening. End up out of state. That's how I ended up going to school out of state with other family and whatnot, and just tried to build my own path. Wasn't listening. Anxiety had me not wanting to socialize, and still thought that I can pull it off by myself. And man, next thing I know, no place to call home.
Yeah, how long did you go through that?
Oh man, I probably went through it for a few months.
Okay.
Yeah, for a few months.
Okay.
I was able to, get back down this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, you get back down here, and then what happens, man? Where do you go from there?
Got back down here, man, and just tried to line everything out, and still and yet, I realized somewhat who I was, but I didn't know the power that I possessed inside of me. So still and yet, I was trying to find my way, doing different things, and finally got hooked up with a decent job and did that and tried to stay on the straight and narrow. Then, man, just made it through that, and worked it out like that.
Okay. And then you got to how did this organization, what you're doing, come to fruition? Where did this come from?
Well, man, this was built over years, over years, all the way from, when I was a child, going through the type of things that, a child go through, and seeing more drama than I should have seen as a child, going through homelessness, and just knowing that feeling that I had, that feeling of loneliness, feeling like that nobody understood me, feeling just that feeling of depression.
Yeah.
I realized that it was just inside of me, and it was something that was wrong with me, and that other people a lot of people going through the same thing. And so now I felt like that God gave me an opportunity to pull some more people out of it, and that's how this came along.
And tell me about it, man. Tell me about the name of your organization and what you guys are doing. Like, I want 1,000-foot view all the way down to, handing something off.
Yeah. Man, well, the name.
We got plenty of time, so
okay.
No rush here. You ain't got to summarize nothing here, bro.
Okay, all right, man. Well, the name is crazy. How the name came.
Okay.
The name didn't come from anything nice or anything like that. The name came from, I was seeing how people in the community, how there was a gap. There was a gap between the youth in the community and the business owners. The youth, all of them, man, it was so many. They don't believe in entrepreneurship. They don't believe that they can do anything. They don't believe that they can own things. They don't believe that they can have restaurants.
What do you think that comes from? Like, why do you think that is? Like, is it just a cultural thing? You think it's an area, or do you think this happens everywhere?
It happens everywhere, but so many things are given to us.
Yeah.
Especially through the school system. So many things are given to us. Right now, there's no child left behind. So you just, so many things are given to us. And then we're told, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. Then when we get the opportunity to actually invest in ourselves and take a loss on something, maybe when we look at the safer route and we go that route. Yeah,
that makes sense. So you saw that being an issue, whereas you said there's a disconnect between business owners and youth. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off track.
Go ahead, man.
If you say something, we're gonna go down that road.
Man, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So
you
said there's a disconnect between the business owners and the youth in this community. So where do you go from there?
That's when I went to the business owners.
Okay.
I went to the business owners. I was like, hey, how y'all doing? Or whatever. I was like, man, there's a disconnect. There's families that can't get their children gifts. They can't feed their children. There's a lot of money being donated all over the world, but still the child that I'm looking at, shoes are tearing up or barely have a shirt on his back. So I don't know where all this money is going, what's going on, but I know one thing, we have the opportunity to change it. So I went to the businesses. I was like, well, let's just start with getting them a gift, something like a bicycle. So let's start with a bike. And, most people ask, well, what organization are you with? I was like, what organization? I was like, I don't need to be from an organization. Yeah. I just see something that need to be done. So as I was addressing them and bringing it to them, everybody was talking about what organization, well, what's the name of this group? I was like, group? I was like, I don't want, now, this is how I'm coming. This is what I am. This is what I'm telling you that needs to be done. And so, man, it was forcing me. There was one individual. She was like, okay, well, I'm going to put it in the newspaper. I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, we need a name for it. I was like, I don't have a name for it, and she kept pushing me. She was pressuring me, man, what's the name for it? I said, man, well, you just tell them that we're here. We're right here. You just let them know that. And she wrote it in the newspaper, and that's how the name came along.
And there it goes.
Yeah, we're here.
There it goes. Do you think you said that the disconnect between the youth not wanting to do things, or maybe not wanting to take a chance on a fail or pass, do you think that them maybe not having, they have access to stuff via school system, but do you think they may be deterred to take the wrong route based on their shortcomings at home? I mean, what do you think? What do you see in here? Like, because you're I guess you're on the ground seeing these things. So what are you seeing on a day-to-day basis that? I guess my question would be, what do you want people to know that you haven't had the time to talk about, to let them know about the situations you're dealing with or seeing?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's two questions. Right
yeah, I got you. Both of them. Yeah.
But one thing that I think, that's affecting a lot is the lack of fathers.
Okay. The
lack of fathers is crazy, and it's so heavy on them. It's so heavy on a lot of youth. It's so many things that they don't get to learn. There's so many that they don't know. It's so much going on with that. And inside of that household, without a father, sometimes the mother doesn't even know how to respond. And then we can take it all the way back to mothers growing up, seeing their mother fighting with their dad. Mm-hmm. Their dad get their stuff and leave, get his stuff and leave the mother. So now that child grows up thinking that that's normal.
Right.
So as she gets in a relationship, the first thing she do is argue with her boyfriend or whatnot, baby daddy. They end up breaking up, and now that child is there to watch that. And it's time to try to.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle, and we need to intervene right there to let that child know, regardless what's going on inside of your household, you got an opportunity right now, man. Right now, this is an opportunity, man. Yeah. You can create anything right now.
Yeah, this is the most creative space we've ever, that generations have seen. I mean, it just is. If you think about it,
it's ridiculous.
You would have to take it back all the way to before, between now, just the amount of stuff we've done in the short amount of years. You and I can remember not having a cell phone. Anyone 2 or 3 years younger than me can't. I'm 34. How old are you?
Man, 48.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but you definitely can. But I can remember not having a cell phone. Any of our youth can't remember that. Mm-hmm. They've had access to information, pretty much unlimited access to unlimited information since they've been old enough to operate in any of these things that give them access, which is insane. So I think that's part of, you're talking about the disconnect. I do think that's part of our disconnect, is that you have so many. We could put it in talking about establishment, government, we talk about businesses, but you have a group of individuals, and then you have a huge gap where you have a group of individuals that grew up and made their way a completely different way than these youth are. And the youth may not respect them as much because they don't have the same tools, you know, and they can't say, well, because you hear that a lot. You're like, well, these kids ain't got work ethic. They do. It's different. It's different because their abilities are different. Their access is different. The way they work may be more digital than it is physical. You know what I mean? There's a lot of disconnect there. And there's a lot of, you know, the generation, you know, saying, hey, these kids need to, you know, do this, and this. And so the kids, the pushback, well, screw you, you know, I don't, you know, so I could see where that be something that, you know, you would be seeing, you know. And like, where do we, you know, how do we bridge that gap?
And understanding. I'll tell you one tool I love, man, assessments. Yeah. Assessments. A lot of people don't like them. I love assessments.
In what form?
Finding out the type of skills and the personality with leadership, because sometimes you get a youth it's hard for them to listen to things. You know, we try to tell them how to do things, and we're talking, and in our minds, he's just hard-headed, or he don't want to listen to something. Yeah. But in reality, sometimes we have to look at it. If we can give him a assessment, sometimes we'll see that he really just has a leadership skill. He wants to run something. He wants to know how to do something. And people, that way you can see how they want to learn, see how they can learn, the best way for them to learn. And once we find out a trigger for someone to learn something, oh man, it's hard to stop them. Yeah. Once you get that mind to quit thinking, yeah, man, it's hard to stop somebody thinking.
Tune in that right channel.
Yes, sir.
Whatever they've been paying attention to, the music they want to listen to, you know, kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
Do you see this? And is this a thing? Because it's a thing in like a white culture. Is this a thing in African American culture to where you have these youth and so like on our side of it, they'll say like, they pressure you to do something based on their shortcomings, and they almost box you in as a child and creatively box you in to say, look, you should be this, or this, or you should be wanting to do this, or this, whether it's sports or, you know, playing an instrument. I'm just shooting from the hip here, but I've seen these things in our culture, you know, but is that something that's in the African American culture, like behind the scenes that I wouldn't see? Like, do you see that to where like the parents may pressure the child to do something that they're not tuning into, that they're not really interested in, and they might deter them to make other bad decisions?
Man, it's in all cultures, man. Yeah. You know, that's just the way it is. That's just, we got to look at it. The youth, all youth, they see celebrities. They only see behind it. I mean, they only see the front. Yeah. They never see behind the scenes. And so many want to get that money. They want to get the riches and come back and take care of their family. But they got to understand, man, that you got to crawl before you walk, man. Nothing's never what it seems.
Right. And here's the thing. I completely agree. And I know that, and you know that. But there's thousands of people on Instagram telling them that, and they're still not listening to it, right? They still just see you at the top of the mountain, talking all that noise. Like they do. Like, what's the, like, how do we really connect with them?
Yeah,
you know.
And that's where even just like the toy giveaway we're doing, even anytime, even with a meal, you know, even when I give away meals, the thing about it is, right before you put something in their hand, you have to give them that piece of knowledge. Okay. You have to give them something.
What are you doing? How are you doing that?
And we're doing that with inspirational speaking. We're bringing out success coaches. We're bringing out, you know, athletes. We're bringing out different people with a message. And before we put something in their hand, we got to hit them in the head with that message. And hopefully, and in a lot of cases, it'll actually tick. It'll actually just go in their mind, and once we start them to thinking, man, it's on.
Instead of just giving them something with no message, attached to nothing, you know, just like, you deserve this, here you go, you're hungry. Yeah, you do deserve it, and you're hungry, and we're here to provide, but also let me attach this to it.
Why are you in this situation? Right. What happened? What started this? Okay, and if you're too young, like, why are your parents in this situation?
Right.
What do your parents tell you? Do you know that sometimes your parents aren't right? Because, man, sometimes, you know,
that's a weird, you know, on the edge conversation to have too. But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because, you know, we got to look at it. It's easier to raise a child than to fix a broken man.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
it's just like hiring someone with bad habits. Like it's you know, or trying to train a dog that's been trained to fight its whole life, and then trying to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, it's just, it's if you've been pushed this direction for so long, it's the longer you've been pushed that direction, the harder it is to get you to make a U-turn. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, are you dealing with any situation to like where you can get into touch with these families? You talking to people, like, are you talking to the parents? And like, I feel like there's still a lot of parents out there that may not know how to deal with these issues. Like how can they help their child, you know, kind of go in the right direction, whether it be lack of father at home, single mom works her ass off every day, barely gets home in time to maybe even not help the kids with homework before she got to, you know, do it all over again. Like, are you seeing any situations like that where you can try to like come in there and maybe counsel this, or like, what's that looking like?
Yeah, most definitely, man. And I tell them to start off with something so simple, an ink pen and a piece of paper.
Okay.
You have to set a goal. You have to write down something, write down what's going on, write down beside that a list of what you want to happen, and in between that, figure out how to get there. It seems simple, but man, it's a difficult task for a lot of people. So as far as going in and talking to them, yeah, a lot of parents reach out to me, man, daily.
Good.
Daily. So many situations daily, man. I wish I can be in 100 places at one time. Yeah. But yeah, most definitely.
Well, and I think that's funny. Do you believe in manifestation, like, or are you more like you got to put in the work? Because that's another thing you see these kids talking about, like, man, I manifested this, man, bullshit, bro. Yeah. I don't believe in that shit. I believe if you write it down, then you're more apt to make it happen, but you still got to make it happen. It ain't going to happen on its own. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got to connect the dots. But do you how do you believe, like, on that aspect?
Man, like I tell my son, the harder you work on something without doing it, the harder you work on it before you do it, the more it's going to be worth to you.
Yeah.
If you wait till it's time for it and work on it, it's only going to be in that moment. But something that you build, just like a book. If you just read a page out of a book to someone, or you create a page and give them a page each time you create a page, that book will never be complete.
Yeah.
But if you take the time and just work hard and sit in a room and you write that book, and then you bring that book out, that book is going to be valuable.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. I think that's with anything. If you put in, the more time you put in it, the more you appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And it's just like when someone's given something, no one appreciates anything that's free. And I don't say that to deter what you're doing.
Yeah,
I'm saying definitely. You're attaching a message and a mission to something.
Yes.
Excuse me. You're not just out here handing things out without a cause. You do have one, and that's important. And I've seen this in life and in the many paths I've been down, also in business. Like, people that are continue to give something without anything attached to it just do not appreciate it. They really don't. I mean, it's just like, okay, well, if I'm going to be giving something all the time, why should I even put any energy in anything? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. People won't work at it. You know, you got to give them an incentive or something. You know, something to create something, because it takes a lot of effort, man, to create anything. And so many people are happy not having anything, and that's the sad part. We got to let them know that it's possible. You can create something. I mean, a thinker is the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
A thinker. You know, communications is right there, and then you got the manager, and then under that you got the person that actually implements the work. But at the top of that pyramid is the thinker, the person that comes up with that idea, and then to communicate that idea.
I think I agree. I think that, like you were talking about, finding things that they're good at and doubling down on that. I think that's probably the biggest disconnect. I really do, because I think that, you know, like I was saying, like culturally, like someone may feel like that pressure's put on them as a child to do a certain thing, and so they immediately feel like they're less than because they're not great at that, or they may be not passionate about that, or they just aren't good at it. And so immediately they become disconnected and lose inspiration, motivation, discipline at said anything, because that was put in front of them first instead of giving them free range. I think that it's important, like what you're talking about, I think they have free range to pick and choose, but they also need some help in figuring out what direction. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
And like something else to piggyback and add to something else you said, man, consistency.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, anything that you stay consistent at, it's a reward. And just trying to encourage people to stay consistent is something that's not paying out, something that doesn't seem fun anymore, because your feelings, your emotions can change instantly. But when you're called for something, you're good at it. You're good at it in your own right. You are good at it. And to stay consistent with it, you can create something from it, because I don't care what it is you do. There's different avenues in everything. Even a player, one of my partners, he almost got to the NFL.
Yeah.
Got hurt. Boom. Ended up started coaching. It's just different avenues. So you just got to stay consistent and put yourself in a place that good things can happen for you.
Yeah. But he could have went another route. He could have went. You said he got hurt, injured, and then decided to coach. But what if he got injured and went down another path and never did anything? I guess it's all what type of foundation you have, and that's where you guys come in. So these children and stuff you guys are working with and helping out the community and stuff, what are you seeing? Like, are you seeing any feedback from? I'm sure you're seeing feedback from the parents, but like from the children, what ages do you start seeing them start appreciating this? Is it how young does it start, I guess?
Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It starts immediately. It is crazy, man. I've seen kids just like sometimes you hear them whispering to each other, like, why are they doing this? What's going on? Then that's when you hit them with the message, and then they as you can see them starting to understanding. One kid, or you'll hear one kid talking to another one, man, I don't know, man, or feel like they trying to act like our dad or something, or father or something. And then one was like, I'm gonna call him dad. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just playing in different things like that. I remember one of the first time I just Chris Plants, and one of his partners, we had got this grill together. Chris had hooked me up with a grill from Give 'em Jesus. And so then me and my partner, we got the grill. We went out, we cooked and everything. And that was our first time taking the grill out, man. I'm telling you, when we got through, now this was a group of kids that I've only talked to a couple of them out of about 8. I've only talked to 2 of them before. Man, you can hear them together mumbling and whispering, and next thing you know, all right, man, we love you, man. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man. Yeah. How much they appreciate a good positive message. And then in the food, man, I mean, what really keeps us going is like you can pull up and see some kids out in the field playing football or whatnot. Pull up. I set up the grill, start cooking and things like that. And one usually want to ease over there. Hey, man, you think you can wrap up one for me?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, boom, wrap it up and put it in his pocket and go play. So, by the end of the thing, he done ate. So I done pulled him to the side. What's going on? I got to take something home to my sister. You know what I mean? Okay. Just, man, it's just.
That's awesome, though. That makes me feel good. Just to think about that, like he didn't, he come over there and get worried about his family too.
Yeah. That's what you see the most of.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I never really thought about it much, really, but that's what you see the most of is brothers and sisters looking out for other brothers and sisters.
So you're seeing that happen at a young age. It's just my question is, at what age did that separate? Because at some point that message gets diluted, right? And I don't know when it is, man,
about 15,
okay.
About 14, 15, it started getting diluted because, boys, they start smelling themselves around now, But younger than that, man, it is a bond that's hard to break. I've heard, we was giving out food one time. It was a little girl. I think she was 7 years old, and we was across the street right there at the farm. Outside the farm, and we was getting our food, so she walked across the street. Her mother drove over there, like, girl, come on, get in the damn car, get in, cussing her, getting in the car, and she was just completely tunnel vision, like, make my brother something, please. And her mom just was yelling, hurry up, get in the car. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm not leaving till my brother gets something too, Mm-hmm. And she was like 7, and man, they just.
We do.
I'm extremely particular when it comes to my vehicles, and I only recommend those who are the same way. That's why I always recommend SBC Autos. They take pride in their inventory, from badass four-wheel drives, clean classic cars, and even your everyday grocery getters. They have it all. No hassle, no BS. SBCautos.com.
I do see that. I mean, and they say that like a child's like basically they take in the most. I looked this up here recently. I believe the age is between 3 and 5 years old. That's when they consume the most of their personality. Their personality based off of that age. So if they grow up in an environment to where that age seems to be their most giving age, if you think about it, what you're saying, like they want to do the best for their loved ones around them, and if that is overshadowed by hatred and trouble at home and things like that, it can immediately start creating something different.
I like that.
But I mean, I was just thinking about that because I mean, yeah, that's the case, because you just said like the little girl's trying to get something for her brother the whole time her mom's yelling in her ear, but her mom's not tuned into what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
She just worried about what problems she got to deal with or whatever it may be. And that creates a disconnect as well. And it's something that from my perspective, it's like we need to give them more attention. We need to pay attention to them more, and we need to teach them better values.
Exactly.
And that can be lost. It can be lost from a loss of a father figure. It could be lost because someone too busy trying to make rent, pay the light bill, and not focus on those things. But if you stop and take 5 minutes to realize that the more you don't give them what they need, the more they're going to turn into something that you don't want them to. You know what I mean?
And that's something you don't want to come back home.
No. Right. Or in your community, or whatever it may be. Like everyone always talks about, well, this community's went to shit, this and that. But what have you done to... I've seen this a million times. I know you have too. And it may be in that neighborhood, this neighborhood, whatever. I ain't pointing neighborhoods out because it's everywhere. I've seen so many people want to talk shit about an area, yet none of them want to do anything about it. They're okay to ride through and say it's horrible, but what have they done to help? And even if it's not their place, like, what have they done? Like, if you're going to talk bad about it, do something about it or go away. You know what I mean? Like, but if you're going to be there bringing that area down constantly, what's your purpose? Like, what's your purpose in the community? Are you just consuming, or are you doing something to help? Like, because if you're just sitting here consuming what this community has left to offer, one, you're using up our good energy, putting bad back into the world. But at the same time, like, what if you're not, like, then why are you even around here? Why are you even saying anything?
Most definitely.
It's an issue, man. It really is. Like, there's so many communities out here that are ridden with crime and poverty, yet there's someone 2 streets over that's reaping all the benefits from whatever it may be. You know what I mean? And not doing anything to help that 1-2 streets over.
And they have the means to help.
Exactly.
And that's why, I don't look bad. I don't look down on philanthropy or anything like that.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean? Man, because help is needed. Help is needed, so many people need help. I needed help when I was young. A lot of people need help.
And everyone has their cause. Like, I'm not saying it's not your place to provide for, if you have a cause, support that cause, whatever it may be. It may not be that neighborhood 2 streets over. It might be, some other organization, and it's not even... For me, it's like I like to support what I'm interested in, but at the same time, like last night, the dudes at the halfway house guys that want to sell you the bread.
Yeah.
Dude, I always buy it from them, man.
Yeah.
I always do, man. I was like, dude, I don't even need to hear your message. I appreciate that you're out here grinding. Most definitely. I don't see when I see you. Most people, when they see somebody like that, they're like, oh shit, it's a used car salesman. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't approach it like that. I might have. Just for a second, I'm like, but I'm like, man, let me give this dude a minute. Let me give him a minute. Let me give him $10. Yeah. Because I got it. If I didn't have it, I'll tell him I don't have it, man. But if I got it right there, he needs it more than I do. You know what I'm saying? He's out there with a shopping cart selling bread. Yeah. He needs it more than I do. I'm walking to my truck. I got a job. I just bought $100 worth of groceries for my family. He needs it more than me. And I think, man, we need it. We need more of that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
we need more of that. I'm not saying I'm anybody special, bro. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying, like, we just need more of supporting each other is what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of shit I pass up, and there's a lot of, things I don't do that I could probably do more for. But I try to pick and choose the things that are important to me and important to my community around me, and whatever it may be.
And to be effective, right? Because some things I think if I do, I don't know how effective it'll be. And that's kind of dealing back to time management. If I put a lot of energy into something that I think wouldn't yield a result for me or for the person that I'm dealing with, that I'll kind of pass by. But if something I think I can make a difference in or make a change in, that I'll get into. And we just need more people to actually see something. A lot of people see something that they can make a difference in and won't even do it.
And I wonder why. Why is that? Is it that fear of being the one that's going to make the leap? That can be it, because a lot of people are introverted, or they don't want to be the one that all the eyes are on. They would just like to fill in and pass little money over here, food over here, service over. Because dude, I think that's what you need to push the most. And look, I'm here to help you, bro. I wanted you to come on because I'm like, I see this dude doing something good, and for the couple of years I've seen you just around a farmer's market, me slinging some barbecue, how coming up slowly and all this stuff. I'm like, this dude's doing some good. But I think the biggest thing people can do is donate their time.
Yeah, most definitely.
I really do. Like, if you don't have money, if you don't have food, if you don't have, we all have a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. We all at the same time, but some of us have more or less that we could give away.
Most definitely.
And that's probably the most about, if you think about any nonprofit, anything, like, the time is what makes up all the effort.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. That's why Living Word is so valuable to me.
Yeah.
Man, whenever I have something going, they call me. Hey, what you need? You need somebody to do this? You need somebody to do that? Well, yeah. That man, time is so valuable, and that's what we need most of is time.
Yeah.
People willing to go forward and do something, and then the one thing that God gave us all is our words, just people actually that's willing to actually get out there and talk about it, to say that they believe in something and to go forward and just to do something about it. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. Let's rally these troops, man. Get some people behind you.
Yeah. Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
Yeah. I think what you're doing is good, man. You said you were on the news this morning spreading your message. How'd that go?
Oh man, that went wonderful, man.
Yeah.
I was on the news this morning. I'll be back on the news. I'll be back on the news Thursday. I think I'll be on channel 12 Thursday. I was on channel 6 today. And I was on channel 33 today. Then I was on channel 6 today. And I'll be on channel 12 Thursday.
Hey, Josh, we getting this episode out this week?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is going out this week. So as we shoot it, we're getting this one. We're pushing this one up. So let's talk about what you got going on this weekend, because we're going to have this one out before then.
Okay, then let's go.
What you got? What we're doing?
Man, this weekend we're going to have Fun with Mrs. Claus, the third annual one. The third annual Fun with Mrs. Claus. It'll be at the American Legion Hall in Minden. There, man.
We're talking about, and there's a lot of people that listen or watching that may not be from around here.
Yeah.
But as we talk about, we're talking about in North Louisiana currently with what he's got going on. So yeah.
Most definitely. And then they can get on the website at we'reherewecare.com. Yeah, man. But it's going to be awesome, man. Right now we got about 99 bicycles, 100 bicycles. We probably got about 80 tablets, all different types of education tablets. Yeah, about 80 tablets. Some of them are the Leapfrog. Yeah, some Leapfrog, Leap Pads, a bunch of different type of tablets. And then we got some toys coming in. We're gonna do some food. Man, we got a bunch of food. We're gonna do what is it? The pastelaya, the Cajun pasta. Yeah, we're gonna do the pastelaya.
Some of that.
Yeah, should do some boudin balls, pastelaya.
Are y'all raising money with that? Or y'all just handing out? What's your layout here? So what you doing?
Oh man, we raise money for it. That's
so you've already got the money funds for it. Now you just
most
so
definitely.
People don't need to come donate.
Well, yeah, most definitely because we're trying to get more.
Okay.
Because we don't have a lot of toys this time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So right now we up to 99 bicycles. Up to 99 bicycles, up to 80. So really want to get up to make sure we got enough stuff for 300 kids.
Okay.
So
you need a good 100-something items.
Yeah, most definitely. That'll be amazing. So,
and how do you pick these? How do you vet these families that you're giving this stuff to? How does that work?
Man, we just go out, and with some of the families, okay, man, really, we got 3 things going. This year we're doing Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
So I'm on that website. People are contacting us, Toys for Tots. Now those gifts will be doing a different date. We won't be giving those gifts out on the 9th.
Gotcha.
But on the 9th for those families, there's like certain families that throughout the events,
you've kind of vetted and located these people that that you're going to give these to? Got you. Okay.
Well, the people that's working with us, the people that working with us, people that volunteer, everybody got to sign in and put their name down and some more information. So with that, with specific families, people put a little mark on it or whatever, or write a little note behind it, this family looks like this family looks like that, so then I'll actually reach out to them and talk to them and see what their situation is. So those families, we'll do something separate for. Okay. Also, we'll actually Christmas Day, we really drop off toys that morning of Christmas, like Santa Claus.
Okay, awesome.
We go around and drop them off. And then for the event on the 9th, when we do the food, the motivational speaking, what it is, I'll be speaking. I should have a college success coach speaking.
Okay.
And we'll start with a prayer. We'll go to speaking. We'll give out the gifts, and then you can get your food. Then you'll be able to take pictures with Mrs. Claus, and we'll do all that. And that's just come. Anybody can come. And I feel like a lot of people like, well, anybody can come. Anybody come. Somebody rich will come. If somebody rich,
they're not taking that stuff.
Come up there to get a free tablet.
Yeah.
And a free meal. Yeah. Tell them to come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, so do you need help? Do you need volunteers? Are you guys, you got a pretty handle that day? Or does anybody need to come help you? Or my question is, if someone's interested in helping you out and may not have the means to physically, like monetarily donate, can they contact you somehow and donate their time? Most
definitely. If anybody want to volunteer some time, you can get on the website at we'reherewecare.com, or you can call me directly, 318-517-5670. And that's one of the main things that I don't care if we got too many people. We still want to bring people in there, because man, there's an energy that's excreted through the body. When I do something good to someone in front of me, there's an energy that both of us get. And now they say that a person that's right there witness it, they get that same energy.
Yeah.
So we encourage anybody to come, anybody that want to help out, anybody. Right now we got the girls basketball team, Minden High basketball team. They'll be coming out. Living Word be coming out. A couple managers from Walmart. Last time we had Glenbrook come out. Some of the football team came out. Most definitely, man. We encourage. We had a bunch of businesses come out. Then I think Regions Bank came out.
Yeah.
Diversified Energy came out. Most definitely, they might be coming this time too. But yeah, we encourage everybody to come out and help out.
Good, man. I think so. You're trying to get enough items together for 300 children.
Most definitely.
And then and so are you still you take donations online, your website? Can they go to your website and donate, or they just need to contact you? How does that work?
They can go on the website. They can go on the website. They can contact me. I got drop-off boxes. I got a toy drop-off box at Walmart. Got one at Smith Marines. I got one at Mercy's Closet. If somebody with Living Word, you can get in touch with them. You can drop off with them. It's opportunities. It's different ways to drop off.
Well, good, man. That's what's up. Hey, man, I'm excited for y'all, bro. I think you're doing something good. Like I said, I think what you got going on is wholesome. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And that's always something to be appreciated, because it seems to be that, I feel like every single any type of nonprofit or giving organization, they all start off with good intentions, and then somewhere down the line they turn into a high yield business that just has a bunch of overpaid employees, and they lose sight of their mission. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I don't wish that upon anybody. You know what I mean? Because I think that what we're facing with on a daily basis is that our society's overrun with the means to consume as much as possible and not put anything back into, this earth, this, atmosphere. Like just like consume, and then not enough people willing to, give back, do things, put it back, put the good energy, like you said, put a good energy back out there.
Yeah, they don't know how good it feel, man. A lot of them don't know how good it feels.
I agree. Like, I don't give a shit if you think you're the baddest motherfucker in the world. I don't care. Like, if you, excuse my language, if you're the baddest dude in the room, like, there's something about seeing someone receive something that deserves it, that tingles your heart, man. It just really is. And that feeling right there should be what carries that mission forward. You know what I mean?
And just seeing someone, man, I tell a lot of people, man, have you ever been lost, traveling and somewhere lost, and that feeling when you find your way?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good feeling. And that's what a lot of these people that feel like that we deal with, so many people are lost in so many different ways. And that message that we give is that inspiration. And the reason that we bring up a college coach out there is try to talk them into getting some type of education, and getting some type of skill or something, or just something, going after something. And that's what assessments come in at, man. Some people just don't really want to work for anyone. They really want to create something, and they're just afraid to try. They're afraid to go out. And yeah, man, I even got a book. I'll be dropping my book pretty soon. Yeah.
Where you at on it? You about done?
Yes, I'm about done.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I'll let you bring it up.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm done. Man, I'm done. I was just looking for a date.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna drop it January 2nd.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do that just to start off the new year. And it's just about unlocking your
You just gonna do like
potential.
an ebook to start, like a Audible, or you physically writing this, publishing, or what's your layout for this?
Okay, I got it on ebook, but you can order a copy. You can order a paperback.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
you're ready. You just hadn't dropped it yet.
Yeah, I just haven't dropped it yet. This is already done.
Look at there. That's what's up, man.
And
congratulations. Any spoilers? Like what's the title? What's you titling this thing?
From the shadows to world changer.
Okay.
Unlocking your inner titan.
Okay, and this is gonna be like more of a motivational piece, or a story, or
it's mixed. It's a story. It's about being resilient, and it's also a guide.
Okay.
How to unlock that potential inside of you. And I think it's going to be great for entrepreneurs. I think it's going to be great for college students. I think it's going to be great for anybody that just want to go forward with something and just been needing that nudge, that boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we both know how it is, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Sometimes you're not knowing what you're stepping on into, and you just jump out there, man.
Yeah, that's every day for me. Shit, man.
Yeah.
I get a call. I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out. Let's do it. I'll figure it out, man. I mean, that's how you move forward, man. You gotta embrace the change, embrace that sense of not knowingness. You know what I mean? Not knowing what's gonna happen. None of us are in control.
We're not in control.
We're all screwed up, man. We're all screwed up. We're on this spinning ball together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
like we're gonna figure it out, though, man. I mean, you're willing to either take the risk, or you're not. And the ones that are not willing to take the risk are the ones that fall short. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as there's someone there to help guide them, you can sway more people that way, I think.
Yeah, man. That's why I want to fail fast.
Yeah. It's nice to fail fast. We fail long sucks, man. But it's happened. It happens to some people a lot. It's still happening right now. Some people. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I do appreciate is I appreciate my wife and I were having this conversation not too long ago, and I was like, look, I know I've been a mess. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know I was a mess when you found me. I know I'm still a mess, but I'm glad I was a mess, and I'm glad I went through all these things, because if I didn't, man, I just still would be unchanged. You know what I mean? I'd be unformed. I'd still be the same lost individual. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't say that in any way to put anyone off. I'm just saying, like, it takes some screwing up to figure out how to act right. Just really, there's very few people I know that are blessed with the just gumption to do great things and not have to face any adversity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It takes failing, whether it's long or fast. It takes it. Mm-hmm. It takes getting your ass kicked. It takes getting your ass kicked a lot. And a lot. And unfortunately, some people get that first ass kicking and that's it. And they choose another path, and that path maybe less than, whether it's less than them, finding their full potential creatively, or them just, moving forward and being a good member of society.
Mm-hmm. It that less resistance. That's what they go after.
Yeah.
And they got to understand, man, resistance is what makes you strong.
Yeah.
That's in anything in life. You can look at the tree. The wind pushes against the tree to actually exercise it. Lifting weights, it's resistance.
Yeah. Everything. Yeah. You got to create that. If you're not using those things, they don't work. You know what I mean? You have to use those tools. If you don't, they're not going to be tools.
You're not growing. You're not doing anything, man. In adversity, we've all had our share of adversity, and that's another thing that I see a lot of. The adversity, the things the youth are going through. You know, I went through some things when I was young. You know, my first memory of my dad, you know, my first memory of him was beating my mom.
Yeah.
You know, and after that, you know, my second memory of him was somebody shot him. You know, but he lived. But, you know, and just going through those things, thinking that those things were going to be, not knowing how those things weighed on me coming up through life, man.
It could weigh on you a million different ways, and most of, probably 90% of them bad. You know, it's like, I guess one good way to say, like, I don't want that to be me, but like, how do you get the energy? How do you create the energy to even think that? Most of our thoughts are like, well, this is for you, this is what life's supposed to be like. You know, this is what I have to look forward to. You never know, you know, like, and not having someone like what you're doing to kind of help guide you, you know, could be that, you know, luckily you found your way, you know what I mean?
Most definitely.
But
man.
most people don't, especially in those scenarios, you know, that they grow up in those scenarios.
And man, and the adults, you know, that's really, you know, that's one way that, you know, I'm compensated is through adults in helping them find their kind of almost like consulting in a certain sense.
Right.
But, you know, just helping them do things, you know what I'm saying? Like I got a partner that got a power washing company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I help him with his videos and stuff like that there. You know, and man, but not him, but just finding other people that's off into something and just don't believe in themselves enough to go all the way in. Just, man, go ahead, go in. Because if you don't, you'll always be looking. I'll always be looking out
and always be wondering what
man.
if.
And I hate to just
That's
wonder.
the worst. I think
I hate it.
That's probably the worst question anyone can ever ask themselves. Think about it. Really, right?
No.
What's the worst question? Other than should I be here? That's a pretty bad one, I guess. But like if you're on those thoughts, but like if not, that's more of a different path. But what if it's a regret? If it's a regret thing, that's got to be the worst question you could ask yourself is what if?
They say the most unused potential is in the graveyard.
Oh, most definitely.
You know, just so many people wouldn't try. Man.
Well, I say this, and I've said it in multiple shows. I'll say it again. I don't care, whatever. But like, imagine how many people are in that nursing home that just can't do anything anymore, and they're just so full of regret that they didn't take that one chance, or they didn't ask that girl out. You know what I mean? Or it could be anything, but like the what if question has got to be it's got to be the most commonly questioned in human history that one asks themselves, if you really think about it. And to kind of circumvent that, you just have to continue to do things like what you're doing and have conversations with people, because I asked myself that question. I'm sure you have too, you know, and I'm continuing to battle that question and do more things and not ask myself that as much. But like now me asking myself that is like, what if I didn't make my what if has changed now.
Yeah, most
it's not a what if of regret. It's what if of relief. What if I didn't make these decisions that put me here right now? Where would I be then? And it's not I don't think it's a good place. Whereas if I was on the other side of it, I'm saying, what if I did this? Where would I be? You know, like on the good side of it. So now, so it could be either way, I guess.
Yeah, most definitely.
Didn't mean go too deep, but I just sparked that thought, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm telling you, man, that if word, it can kill a relationship. It can kill mental state. It can kill you financially. You know, it attaches so much fear to it. And that's the problem. It's fear. So many people are afraid to try something new. They're afraid to talk to someone. What if this happened? Man, they got to let go. They got to just jump out there. They got to try it, you know?
I think everyone's different. Like, I think that you should exercise the fuck out of your body and you should exercise the fuck out of your mind. And if you don't want to start with the body, start with the mind. Because I think every single bit of like things I do and what has helped me the most is doing shit I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I make myself do shit I don't want to do. Yeah. And I hate it in the moment. I'm not going to lie. That shit never gets, if it's easy, then I need to find something harder to do.
Yeah.
It's never, I need to continue to do that to myself. Continue to challenge myself. Continue to make myself do something I don't want to do, because right after that horrible moment's over is the biggest like form of reward in oneself. You know what I mean? And I think that's a missing link. That's a missing link to, you know, so many young people to adults, they never got that opportunity for someone to push them to exercise that, you know, that overcome that fear, because you're going to be scared.
Yeah, and
I mean,
got to,
it's in our DNA.
And like you said, man, that's real though, about doing something you don't want to do, man.
You got to every day.
You got to keep that consistency
Every
going.
day.
You know, my son, every day after school, I make him, you know, it don't have to be right after school, because I really kind of see if he gonna do it himself or something like that.
Yeah.
There, but I make him read at least 10 pages out of a book. You know, right now we're reading some book about a kid in school starting the business. But I make him read 10 pages out of a book. I make him hit at least 50 to 60 push-ups.
Cool.
Every day.
It. And some people probably talk shit on you for that, and I wouldn't, because I do similar things with the kids. I'm like, you either do this, or this, or you don't get to do these things. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's
you know,
it.
it's like, it's just one of those things. Like, my kids read all the time, and I don't have to tell them anymore, because they found that to be a hobby, which is amazing, because it wasn't mine at that age. You know, and I think the biggest thing, the mistake we make as parents sometimes is saying like, well, you got it easier than I had it.
Yeah.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
like, doesn't mean you have to. They don't know that. They don't know how you had it. You ain't never gonna. They're never gonna know. That's not a way to parent. I don't think, in my opinion. I think you know how you had it, so you need to do better.
Yeah,
and you don't put that on them. You know what I mean? Don't put that on them.
It's different. Everything is so different.
Yeah.
You know, the peer pressure is different.
The bullying's different. It's not physical. It's mental. And mental's the most. I mean, without mental, we can't do physical, right?
Thinking. That's the number one thing, the mind, man. If we lose our mind, we're gone.
Yeah.
You know, we're a lost cause. So, yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, man, we got to, like you said, got to exercise the mind and exercise the body. Though, if you can do that, if you can stay consistent exercising your mind and exercising your body, you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
You're just unstoppable.
Yeah, I agree. Well, look, man, let's wrap this thing up. I appreciate your time today, bro. I'm happy for what you guys are doing. Again, what's your website so they can find you, and where you at on social media?
Man, on social media, on Facebook, I'm Patrick White. On Instagram, I'm Pat White. Let's get it. On TikTok, I'm Breakthrough It.
Okay.
You know, and the website is we'reherewecare.com. That's all one word, we'reherewecare.com. If you got any questions, you can reach out to me directly at 318-517-5670. And man, we just out here trying to get it, trying to make a change, make a difference.
I can't believe you just dropped your personal number on here. I think that's a first.
It's all
that's
good.
what's up, though. That's what's up.
That's all good.
Hey, dude.
You know,
Look,
it's a work number.
yeah. All right, good, bro. Well, I appreciate your time today, man. We'll see you next time.